Hey everybody, it's good to be back making another video. It's been a while since I have. There hasn't been too much, I guess, content to be making around decks or whatever. Although, there's been a few new decks popping up here and there, but mostly I've just been busy with Pro Ladder. I might start uploading some more videos soon. But some really big news happened today, and that is that we got some information regarding Homecoming and all the stuff going on with that. So I thought I'd make a quick video just to give some thoughts and impressions about what we've seen, the game board, the cards, the design, stuff like that, and my hopes and thoughts for, future stuff that we get to see, and eventually Thronebreaker itself, along with Homecoming when that stuff comes out. So I'm not going to watch the video because it's pretty lengthy. I mean, compared to what I want this video length to be, but effectively we've seen this, and that is new card art. So we've got a much like grittier, darker look, which is what CDPR promised to be doing, going back to the roots, the Homecoming, and all that stuff. And also just a lot bigger card art. So that's the first thing of note. And yeah, of course, repurposing of card art. This looks like a spell, griffin, whatever. Okay, cool. So that's the first thing that's worthy of note. And yeah, just generally the strength values seem to have dropped, but that's whatever. No real comment on that. As long as everything is going down in at the same rate, then that should be fine. And yeah, so we've seen this. I'm not like swayed either way as to whether this looks better or worse. I think it's definitely more towards those Homecoming roots and original Gwent. So that's pretty cool for fans of the original Gwent, including myself. But ultimately, like I'm not. I don't really hate the current, Gwent, even if it does look maybe too bright or cartoony in some people's opinions. So yeah, this is just a cosmetic change. I don't think it looks too bad, and having more space for the cards is also pretty cool. Next, they also showed like a mulligan feature, which is being changed, and pretty interesting to note that cards and leaders, I think leaders will be balanced around the sort of mulligan feature and how many mulligans you're able to have. So that's pretty cool, but it seems to be balanced around you mulligan all the cards immediately rather than one at a time, which is, I'm not sure what that will entail for the game, but you've got to imagine that that might make certain mulligans a bit riskier potentially. If you have like a lot of bricks in your deck, you're not able to get rid of one brick, then another one that pops up, for example, and then like one to finish off. Here you might take less risks with the mulligan, or maybe you're going to be forced to take more. Alternatively, I mean, we might not even see that many tutors or that many cards of the brick in the final game that releases. So that's kind of hard to say whether that will be relevant or not. I will say, like, I'm not sure how valuable extra mulligans will be. I guess with more cards in the deck, the mulligan might be more valuable as you need to guarantee your good cards right from the beginning of the game. But we'll have to wait and see on that, really. Pretty cool that that's like a mechanic that they're balancing around, like with leaders that are potentially weaker in effect, they might have more mulligans. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether that's something that bears fruit or not. So yeah, mulligans have changed. Next is we've got basically they've said that there are only gold and bronze cards now, and this is balanced by the fact that provisions, effectively, the amount of resources your army has, or whatever the definition is through the law. Yeah, that's going to be what justifies having no silver cards, and that's going to allow them to sort of get that Witcher 3 Gwent feel where you only had bronze and silver cards, right? And I'm sure it's more of a cosmetic change rather than anything negative, taking away silvers. I don't think that's an issue. You can just have those silvers as golds or bronzes and just raise or lower how much they cost to be put in the deck. That should be cool. I am looking forward to the provision system. It seems pretty cool, pretty neat. That will be definitely quite an interesting thing to play around with. And for deck building, there'll be a lot of creativity opened up, I guess, in that respect, hopefully. So that's one of the definitely more exciting things about the future. I will say, like, it might just be me, but the gold cards they don't seem like too indistinguishable from the bronze ones. Like the border is pretty small or whatever, like light, I guess. But that's just like a minor gripe. I'm sure it's not like too big of a deal. But yeah, so other than that, obviously we've got the two rows. This is the board itself, and they've got like little leaders. I presume every leader will have a sort of animated 3D model on the side of the board, which is pretty neat. People have been wanting sort of a more interactive or more lifelike board, I suppose, and this is what we get as a result. I must say I'm like not, again, I'm pretty fine with the current Gwent board, but that's just me, and I guess this is an appeal to people who are fans of The Witcher 3 Gwent and original Gwent and all that. So, I don't think it looks too bad, and obviously you're going to have different boards for each faction, I guess, so that would be pretty cool if you've got a lot of diversity going on there. But yeah, I mean, it does look very gritty and dark, which is obviously what they're aiming for, so looking forward to that. And so, yeah, they've also mentioned, which we've already heard before, that different cards will have different effects depending on whether they're played on the melee or ranged row, which is cool, add a little bit of complexity. And from the looks of things here, it also seems like a lot of the cards do have deploy effects, or, things that they can do once they are played. So that'll be a nice change if a lot of the cards are able to not just be just binary point slam or whatever, right? Instead, you're going to have some interaction going on throughout the match with lots of different abilities happening. So that'll be cool, and hopefully sequencing and stuff like that will be more important. There's a preview of Iris, which is... Whoa, different abilities. Crazy. Destroy an artifact. What could that mean? Who knows? Artifact, the game, right? Yeah, so just generally the cards are going to look bigger, grimier. I mean, it kind of sounds bad, but you know what I mean. And yeah, the board in general will look a bit darker as well, and more, I guess, like a battlefield rather than a table or a cardboard. I guess it's all cosmetic stuff. So yeah, in terms of gameplay, apart from that, I feel like there's something I'm forgetting to mention. But yeah, we didn't get too much information about how the leaders are going to work, or whether they have found a way to fix the coin flip and what that would be. I'm presuming that might be the mulligan system. You have more mulligans if you lose the coin or whatever, but I'm not sure that will 100% solve it. I guess only time can tell. And yeah, I'm curious to see how the leaders work, because perhaps they have passive effects like they used to or something like that, because it doesn't seem like they have a card here, or maybe you're able to click them and they do something, I don't know. But that's pretty interesting. And apparently weather's staying in the game in some form, and yeah, should be pretty interesting to see what the future holds, I think. So, I mean, my thoughts are really just, yeah, okay, we got some information, we got some I don't really want to call it gameplay, because we didn't see anything too in depth, like not a full game or anything that we might see in one of the developer previews previously, but that's okay, that's expected, I guess. Overall, the new design looks to be, yeah, heading back to Witcher 3 Gwent, and that's gonna make a lot of people happy, hopefully. I'm not too bothered either way. I just hope the gameplay is really good, and it looks like there are improvements being made in that direction. But yeah, I think the one last thing is whether or not this will actually arrive on time. I would say, like, I'm one that thinks it probably will be delayed past October, or whenever it was supposed to release. I'm not sure that's true, but I would assume they probably need quite a bit more time. Like, this demo is cool and all, but I feel like they would have showcased more if they had more, to offer. And they're still, making sure to say, okay, this is not the final look at the game. Cards might change, card backs might change. Like, all the stuff here is subject to change. So I would say they're not that close to finishing everything, but I could be wrong, I guess. Honestly, I don't really care if it's delayed, as long as, the final product is something that's very good, fun, competitive, whatever, and hopefully better than other card games. But yeah, I think Gwent will always hold that niche of being quite special and appealing to a potentially more mature audience or whatever. But yeah, that is pretty much all my thoughts on it. I'm going to return to watching the Challenger finals, Andy 1 versus Damokis, and yeah, enjoy your day, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you next time.